Hi, this is just a video where I talk about my life and I talk about art and I conceptualize characters. This is me in retrospect because at the time of recording I did not know what I was going to talk about. It was just stream of consciousness while I had drawing going on in the background, so enjoy me just doing paintings of my Castlevania self-insert and talking about how life kind of sucks right now. Okay, thank you. If you really don't care about my life, then please click off this video. I'm just yapping about life and things, and then you can watch me do some drawings in the background while that happens. But, okay, truly, I don't know what life is like right now. There are many new things happening. YouTube is getting a little bit difficult to do. I mean, I have my new laptop, and it's... God, I can finally edit things again because my computer, it crashed like every 2 seconds. Crit did. And it was getting painful, but thank God my lovely laptop that cost way too much is now in its rightful home. Now I have this laptop and I'm hopefully going to be doing a lot of stuff on this while I'm at university. It's difficult. I haven't had school for a long time. I graduated, gosh, not exactly a year ago, maybe like 10 months ago, 9 months ago. So I've had a whole lot of nothing. I wish I used that time to do more YouTube, but I never really thought of it as a viable option until that animatic of mine kind of did okay. And people were kind of complimenting it, and then it made me think, like, man, people actually, like, kind of my work has the capability to make people care about it. I find that when I am editing my videos, I'm like, God, why the fuck does this bitch sound so monotone and uninteresting, and I have to cut out, like, everything because I'm literally not even talking about anything. It's like, I need to get this value right. I really need to get this humor warm. I really need to define out these shapes. Ah, or shut up, nobody wants to listen to that. We want to listen to, you talk about your toxic yaoi, which I think I will do. People voted, and, yeah, please go check out my community tab with a vote on what video you want me to do next. Please, please, please. I really want to know what people want from me, so that I can do things, and then they will do well, because I kind of, if you're a content creator, then you know that, like, kind of guessing what people want is kind of stressful because you have to spend a lot of time on it. Like, whether it's an animation or a long form video, which is the kind of content that I do, like the two types of content that I do, either way, I spend a lot of time on it. I spend a lot more time on my animations than I do on my long form videos. And those are, like, the searching for a world that doesn't exist video ruined this Minecraft ARG with me yapping design, that one. That was about 4 or 5 hours of footage. Like, yeah, I did the, like, 5-6 hours of drawing. I just said 4 or 5 and then 5 or 6. It was more like 6 hours of drawing. I don't know what I'm talking about. All of those, like, 6 hours of drawing and then, like, another 10 editing. You know, I spent a lot more time on a lot of other animations, way more than that. The Sarah animatic and my other animatic, I forget, I've forgiven Jesus. Yeah, both of those I finished in one day because they were, it was my method of getting my emotions out, and I really didn't want to think about anything else other than those videos because I was just trying to output my feelings onto something, and I had a lot of feelings, and I didn't really want to think about anything else other than creating, so that I could make something of that feeling. It feels nice, but then I also end up spending like 12 or 13 hours straight just drawing and just making these things, which some might argue isn't healthy, but like, it's like fine. Tell me that I'm relatable and cool. God, I really need to change the icon on my YouTube. It's so fucking ass. It's of this one OC of mine. But anyway, I can't talk about OCs in this because people want to see me do OC talk in another video, apparently. Let me go check on that community tab. Yeah, the first voted one is drawing cookie run characters from memory while drunk. I really wanted to, if you saw something earlier in my posts, then you would have noticed that I also did a post about, like, oh, I want to do a thing where I'm drawing while drunk because that might be interesting. I've drawn while drunk, obviously, and they turn out really cute, but they're really dynamic, honestly. So I'm really curious, especially with how my memory will be trying to draw cookie run characters. That's what I'm hyper fixating on, so I'm sure you'll have to deal with many more cookies, especially in, I think, what will be an upcoming sketchbook tour. I have like 30 So technically 60 front and back pages left on my sketchbook, and then I can do another sketchbook tour. Honest to God, I don't know what I'm doing wrong with my traditional art videos, which is this video and the last video that I just finished editing. So it's kind of painful because I know that those two in a row will not do well, and the cookie run video also didn't do well, so that's 3 in a row that won't do well. But, then I can talk about my OCs. If you know me, then you know about Drew and Halbert, my 2 OCs that I want to make into an indie game, but the indie game is more of a concept. It's like, I think it might be something that I passively work on for a while. I don't know if it's anything I want to finish, but I think that writing out this story as a script and drawing all of the environments and doing all of this concept art to really solidify their story into a beat by beat, like line by line thing, and the format of a game that has to keep people like engaged the whole time without it being boring. I also kind of want it to be a walking simulator, so how do I make it not boring? Think of Yume Nikki, where you just like walk and then walk and then walk. I'll throw up some footage. But yeah, so that'll be a little bit tough. But TLDR, get excited for that because Halbert is like this little incel loser, and Drew is honestly just a normal guy trying to study, but then they become in yaois together. Except, Drew doesn't really know it. That's major spoilers if my game ever comes out, but I really don't give because I have more of a fan base, quote unquote, 1.7k, not that much, but I have more of a fan base now than I ever will for this hypothetical game, so I really don't gaff about spoilers right now. But yeah, Halbert is really delusional, and a lot of the story, you can't tell what's reality and what's not, and what's a dream and what's reality, and who is actually talking to you, and who it might be underneath that, because reality is kind of being manipulated by this, not supernatural force, but yeah, supernatural force, but also everyone in this story is mentally ill, so you can't tell if it's them imagining it, or if it's a supernatural force, or if it's actually happening. So I think that's kind of a cool concept, no? But then it's toxic yaois, and people die, and etc. Well, I mean, one guy dies, like, one time. It's kind of isolated to 3 characters only, Clarence, which is Drew's girlfriend, and then Halbert. But that's all I'll talk about. That's, the little crumbs that I will give you to get excited for the next video. I actually don't know when I'm going to do the cookie run while drunk video because I need to get my hands on some drinks, etc, etc. But yeah, I think I wanted to make this because I wanted to talk about how tough life has been. I won't be personal, but yeah, I ended up making this a lot lighter of a tone than I intended, but it was meant to be like a stress relief for the people that actually care about myself as like a person rather than my content, which it sounds like a dick move to say that a lot of people don't, but a lot of people don't. Which I understand. The content that I'm creating is by me, but at the end of the day, people are consuming the content, they're not consuming me. Whoa. Freak shit. Anyway, but yeah, I'm constantly getting better, which I'm happy about. The Draw With Me was my first long form video, and seeing how that did decent was really like a game changer. I've talked about this before, but then I did a few more, and it's getting easier and easier, and as I edit videos, which I've only done like 1, 2, 3, 4, wow, it feels like a lot more, but 4, and as I edit, I realize things that I need to do while I am recording. Like, I need to stop saying because I need to cut that out. I'd rather just say silent so that it's easier to just cut the silences out, you know what I mean? It's easier to see on like the audio graph, the spectrogram, that's not what it's called, but yeah, it's easier to edit. Okay, before I get sad, I want to keep talking about videos because YouTube is my main concern when I'm talking here, because I'm not going to get into my personal life, other than, yeah, I'm going to university and I'm going to try and do content. Ever since like my first Draw With Me, I've had this idea of like 100%ing games, and then doing like a Draw With Me video on them, like fan art, but specifically like character-oriented games. But also a lot of the ones that I like aren't character-oriented. I've always wanted to do Dishonored. I'm probably not gonna 100% Dishonored because what the fuck. I'm not 100%ing the game. But I'll finish it a few times, do the different routes, like, all endings type thing. But anyway, yeah, then there's obviously Undertale. I can replay Undertale. Hylix is sitting there. Picayune Dreams is sitting there. Both Fear and Hungers. Oh my god, I love Fear and Hunger. I would love to do some videos on Fear and Hunger. The first one and then Termina. Oh my god. I feel like people would eat that up, no? Then I have all 3 Castlevania collections, which is actually like, what, there's like 5 or 6 or 6 games per like collection. So I'm actually playing like 21 games, but they're all like relatively small. No, they're not. I'll see what I can do because I love Castlevania. I love Castlevania. Any Castlevania fans, like, go to my comment section now. But if you don't know what Castlevania is, you may have seen the Netflix series, things like that. Alucard is from there, but it was originally games, and the games go all the way back to the 80s when they were just like arcade games, and you can get them on Steam, and I've got basically all of the ones that I can get on Steam. There's just so much happening with the games, like, who the fuck is Soma Cruz? I need to know. But yeah, there's Hades, obviously, and then there's Hades 2. I don't know if people care about Hades, like the first game, in current present day, but I do. And it's my channel, I can do whatever I want. Except I get really guilty when I do whatever I want, because then I, don't get much watch time, and then I have to work extra hard to try and reach that monetization goal, which I've gone further than I ever thought that I would reach to that monetization goal, but it still kind of sucks sometimes because I've been stagnant because I did a pretty good video 4 weeks ago and then like a really bad video like 2 weeks ago. But you know what? I need to just stop caring. I need to just stop caring because if I think about numbers, then I need to stop. But I also I think I need to think about numbers until I hit that monetization thing because I need to get a little bit of an income while I'm at university, like, even if it's the fucking scraps from the ad revenue, and obviously my Ko-Fi, I've promoted my Ko-Fi in my last video, and I got 1 follower, not like a member or supporter or anything, 1 follower, I think. I might go check up on it, but, yeah, it's not looking amazing, but obviously there's not going to be a large amount of people willing to give money to me, like, it's a large ask, but, you know, I'm gonna throw it out there. If you want your name, like, read out at the end of my videos, then go check out my Ko-Fi, and if you support me on Ko-Fi, then you can also get videos early on YouTube. Ooh, yeah. I'll see what I can do for now. I'll just do as much as I can to survive without just kind of burning out myself, because I have so much stuff to do now. I have university, I have to move all of my things, I have to get settled, orientation, etc. So I think I'm just going to try and YouTube video max until I get there, and then I'll focus. I'll fucking lock in, okay? You hear me? I'm gonna lock in. On school. But I was thinking, why did my sketchbook tours do so shittily? Because, you know, it's more content. It's like people looking at the art like all of the art basically that I've been working on for the past like 6 months. Like, I've been on my current sketchbook for 6 months and the other ones were like a couple months. But I don't understand. I think it's the mic quality and then the camera quality, but I'm doing the best I fucking can with my phone. There's like pretty much nothing I can do about that. But yeah, what was I was gonna be sad and things and like talk about how I felt like directionless or whatever. I wanted to talk about how I was doing with my art. It's kind of difficult right now to do an art central channel when I'm really just unhappy with my art. It's a little bit depressing. In the sketchbook like spread video, I was dogging on my art so bad, and I edited that like 20 minutes ago, and I was dogging on it. I was typing shit up in the text editor. I was like, this looks like ass. Because it did look like ass. I just really want to improve, and I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself right now to improve when I have like a week left at home, and I'm leaving in like a week as of recording this. So I don't know why I'm putting so much pressure on myself when I'm going there to learn, but it just feels like I'm behind. I feel like I don't have very focused intentions on my art. I feel like just draw whatever the fuck, and because I'm just whatever the fucking, it's not working out. I don't think about what I'm going to do. I don't think about technique. I just fucking throw shit on and then I get surprised when it looks bad. Like, oh, I'm so untalented. How about you get a fucking reference? How about you figure out what fucking medium you're gonna do? Get it on the right materials. Like, shit, man. Sorry, I'm being mean to myself again, but this is the kind of issue that I'm having. My art looks kind of shit right now. Like, my digital art, I haven't touched digital in a while because, like I said, my computer was crashing constantly. And I'm really, really scared about recording because I'll be in, like, the student accommodation and there's gonna be people, like, packed together. And not just art students. Like, it's like the entire university. So it's kind of scary. Yeah, but I'll hopefully, I will have a change in character and I'm gonna be confident again. Was I ever? I'm gonna be confident again. And then when I go to university, I'm going to be like, wow, I'm not afraid of recording where someone can hear me, because so what if they hear me talking about my yaoi? So what? I fucking care right now. I wish I had that kind of confidence, but maybe I'll have it in the future, fingers crossed. I'll work toward it. I just need to be happy with my art. I need to stop. I don't know if it's a mentality thing or an actual skill thing. Right now I can't tell the difference as to whether I'm being too harsh on my art or whether I actually just need to fucking get good. I'm in the only possible thing I can think of to solve that is to just do a bunch of studies and get out some stuff that I'm happy with, but I still feel like my intentions aren't focused at all. I feel like I'm not making things. I'm just putting something on a page. There's no thought behind a lot of these. There's no, like, intentions. There's no story, there's no writing, there's no symbolism, there's no composition. It's just going onto my page and then I make whatever out of that page. Like, what the fuck? I need to do more pieces. If you look at my digital stuff, I have like one piece. One full piece from the last like couple of months. Oh fuck, I'm actually like getting emotional a little bit, like I'm tearing up because it's so frustrating. I have like one full piece. I'll throw it up on screen. It's Hellsing fan art because I fucking love Hellsing. I need to rewatch it and then do more fan art. In fact, you know what? I can do a video on it. People, you know, a channel usually does well when it focuses on like one community and then like hones in on that. Like, Hellsing fans will see this video and want more Hellsing from me, but I'm only going to do like one video on it because I like Hellsing and this is my channel and I want to talk about it for a little while before I talk about something else I'm interested in, you know. But people aren't going to come back for that. But you know, that's okay. I need to stop thinking about numbers, but it's really kind of important to me to grow this because I don't have. This is gonna change as soon as I go to university because it's gonna be an art school. Everyone there's gonna be autistic and non-binary. Be for real. But I don't have like friends. As soon as I stop going to school, like, because I don't talk to people, I don't message them or anything. Once I stopped having that like contact of actually seeing people at school like every day, I stopped talking to everyone except for maybe one or two people. But I do want online friends as well. I want to feel a sense of community. My art feels best when I have a sense of community, when I'm bouncing off of people. When right now I don't. I have one person that I really like bouncing ideas off of, and we get on call, and then we like froth at the mouth with our characters, and it's fun. But I'm just so antisocial. And that's why I don't have people I can bounce off of. It's just a kind of me issue that I'm now complaining about. Like, oh, woe is me if it isn't the consequences of my own fucking actions. You know? But, yeah, if you've, like, sat in a call, like, drawing and, like, bouncing ideas off of someone, maybe, like, screen sharing, or maybe even being in person, having a sketchbook and drawing with someone, and, like, talking about what you're drawing, and you share that interest, and you bounce ideas off of them, and you get really, really excited about them, you will produce work that you like, because it's, like, not only is it, like, decent artwork, but you get, like, emotionally attached, like, the feelings of happiness and excitement are attached to that drawing as well, and it just makes you feel happy about things. And I just sit in my dark room and fucking draw and not be happy about any of it. And I'm doing like studies a little bit. I need to do more if I want to fucking get better, but I guess that's what university is for. But I'm just doing studies, and then I try and like do a character of mine just from my own brain, and then it looks like shit. And then I go back to draw something from Pinterest thinking, maybe if I study these couple of things, then maybe I'll improve. And then my art still looks like shit. I honestly don't know what to do. I know that I'm going to, since I'm going to be in an academic setting, it's going to kind of force me to do things at very, very regular intervals. Like, oh god, I want to do some croquis sessions so effing bad. I organized to do some croquis with someone I know, and then they went to fucking, like, the UK for, like, 6 weeks. So that's awesome, and I never got to do that. And now I'm going to my university, like, 5 months. So that's awesome, that's great, that's cool, I don't care about that. I don't know what to do about art. If, maybe it's something appealing. If you like the art that's going on in the background that I did ages ago that I just needed to voice over, then, yeah, sure. But if I'm entertaining somehow, then, which is like the hook of the video, I think, then cool, I'm glad. Yeah. Okay, let me try to be a bit more optimistic, okay? I have found, like, this one method, I tried it a couple of times, that I'm really happy with. It's like thick line work with, like, small detailing on top, but the thick line work is, like, the actual line work. But the thin, darker, like, what I use as a fine lining, I feel like I could work off of that and then create something a bit unique for my style, because it's really fun to do. So I might keep practicing that, see what happens. Try and have fun with art again and finish my sketchbook, you know? I kind of wish that I had something that I was really obsessed with, like hyperfixation. If you know the feeling, then you know. But, like, something that I just draw, like, all of the time that I think about, and they just make me happy. I haven't had anything like that in a while. Like, I have Cookie Run Kingdom, but I draw that, sure, it makes me happy, but I'm just not happy enough with my art that I'm creating things that make me happy. I really just draw a bunch of characters standing around. I want to draw character interactions. I want to get attached to them emotionally. I want to make characters that I get attached to emotionally and watch them do interactions. But I just fall flat, like, every time. And maybe it's because I haven't had a lot of social interaction. I haven't consumed a lot of media that I can draw inspiration from. Maybe I'm just not feeling very inspired. That's how you could describe this, right? Like, a lack of inspiration. Like, it's not an art block, I don't think, because it's like the quality of my art it's improving, I guess, but it's just not anything that I'm happy with whatsoever. And I guess this means, you know, you get those graphs where it's like you're unhappy and then that's where you see the most improvement afterwards, like thereafter. But, like, god, can that fucking hurry up? Can I go to uni and, like, do croquis and, like, actually study, like, methods, and then hopefully it'll get better. I don't know. I just want to kind of make a little bit of a mark with my work. I want my things to have meaning, and I have a lot of meaning in the limited stories that I do have. Basically just, like, my Drew and Halbo toxic yaoi, and then some backstory from their high school, and then a tiny story about, like, vampires that's kind of inspired by Castlevania. I like that. I haven't really developed them because I haven't really gotten attached to the characters a whole lot yet. Maybe I can try that and then see if I get some character designs that, like, stick in my head, that kind of, like, scratch that itch, then I'm sure I can get to know them and like them. But with things that you like, it's usually pretty quick. It's just like, it's a rapid onset where you just like, oh my god, I love this character. That hasn't happened, so from that point, I doubt that it will happen. You know, if you get it, you get it. How long have I been recording? Half an hour? Okay. I think I can record for, like, a little bit more. I just need to yap. Maybe I could use this extra time to think of ideas, because I came up with this character and I kind of like the way that And I kind of like the way that he looks. He kind of looks like Mahito. I'll throw him up on screen, the like 2 drawings that I have of him right now. I could come up with a story, and I have these 2 conceptualized characters in my head. These are not characters that I'm going to talk about in my like video where I talk about Drew and Halbert. Those are getting their own video, but it's not like this. In that video, I also think I'm going to be working on some like video game aspects, like more like actual drawings of what will be visualized. Anyway, but I came up with this concept. It's kind of toxic eerie, but that's not the point. Basically, there's this woman who's lost their child. I'm not sure what their age they were, but all that matters is that she had a child that died. And she kind of meets this other woman, I think in like some public transport, maybe like a train or something, and then they bond over how they both lost their children. They're both mothers that lost their children. And they get to know each other a lot, and they kind of rely on each other because they're both just coping with this. They're both coping with this at the same time, and they get attached to each other because of it. It's not like trauma bonding, but you know, when you're vulnerable and then you meet someone else that's also vulnerable and you can relate to them, then yeah. But it starts to get kind of like fishy because the one mom, the one that the main character, quote unquote, met in the public transport, she starts to get really controlling. And it's actually controlling in the same way that she was controlling of her child that she lost. And so this woman that she's met now becomes more of a child figure. But that's so fucking gross. It's like, she isn't infantilized at all, but this mother projects onto her what she wished she could have done with her child, which is fucking awful. It's like her child in the first place was just an outlet, and now she needed another outlet to replace her child. Like, isn't that fucking disgusting? But I think it's so cool and so fascinating just as a concept. I don't have a lot of experience with motherhood, obviously, so I don't think I could write this in very much detail. I think that it might be able to be a subplot or something that explains why the characters are the way they are, but I don't think it will be the main plot of any story, especially because I haven't seen or experienced or consumed any media where that sort of thing happens. So I don't think I could write it very well, but I think that the concept is pretty good. But the plot twist is that controlling mother, she was being purposefully ambiguous with the other mother whose child died. Yeah, she lost her child. Her child didn't actually die. And so she was being purposefully ambiguous this whole time, kind of like half lying to the other one who has like this actual dead child. The poor mother finds out that the other one's like son, I think it might be a son, is actually alive, and she just lost him in like a custody battle or something. And it's not that she was making a big deal of it. Like, I'm sure she would grieve that child, of course, but using that fact just to take advantage of someone else who's vulnerable, who isn't experiencing the exact same thing as you, but something similar enough that you can use that grief that you kind of share, that she's experiencing, to fill that emptiness that was left in you. God, that's awful, but isn't that a cool concept? I don't have any designs or anything, but if you have any like ideas or brainstorming sort of things, please leave it in the comment section, because holy shit, like, I think this is kind of fire. And obviously because this kid that she lost in the custody battle is alive, I think I want to expand on his character, if kind of growing up with that kind of controlling mother, that because she was controlling to her child, now that role is filled by the other poor woman. So I want to see, like, since they were treated in a similar way, how that son ended up in life and how it kind of reflects the way he interacts with people. And I think that interacting with like a large variety of people, like when I see people in university, it will help me come up with characters that are more like, that have human aspects to them, that reflect the way that they were treated and the way that they grew up. I would like to get to know some people and then see how that shapes the way they are, and then kind of use those ideas not to base characters on, but to be informed enough to make characters, you know? But yeah, if you have any ideas for this kind of concept with the two mothers who have lost, quote unquote, their children, then there's this character that I made. He might be kind of involved. I think that I just want to, like, smash all of the characters that I don't really have a universe for into the same story, and then just use them as vessels, because right now, all of the just, like, character concepts and, like, little designs I have, they don't have personalities other than what is displayed from the character, and I need to sort of think of a story and kind of shape them around that. But there's this character, and he's kind of based off of Mahito a little bit. I'm not a big Jujutsu Kaisen fan, but I like Mahito. But I think that this isn't like a very fantasy universe, so I don't think that his, like, patches are actually, like, patches. I think that, realistically, they're probably tattoos, but, like, I might move the one on his face, because you're telling me that you got your eyelids tattooed? Fuck that, dog. So I might, like, move it to his neck, or, like, his, I don't know, just cheek, or maybe, like, his cheek and his jaw and his neck, just, like, one big square. That sounds pretty nice, but it might be a tattoo, and makes you think, why is that patch a symbolic enough thing that he would get it tattooed? Maybe there are some marks on his skin that he's trying to cover up with the tattoo. Maybe scars from something that he doesn't like to remember, or maybe it's just symbolic of him being patchwork, having parts of him that he's tried to repair himself with. There we go, that's what I'm trying to say. That's very interesting. This could be the son of that one woman. Okay, this might get into pretty triggering territory, so trigger warning for, like, child abuse-ish. But I'm just trying to expand on this character's story if he was under her care, if he was the child that was lost in the custody battle. Alright? So, that would mean that he's with his dad. But maybe he actually did get physical scars from childhood, and that's what he's trying to cover up. I might still expand on the idea that it's symbolic of him repairing himself, you know? But it could also just be scar cover-up. Or maybe he got into some sort of accident and that left scars. Not like a full burn, because if it's on, like, close enough to his face, then it will have, like, scarring on his, like, facial features. But I could do that, actually. I think that you lose, like, your follicles of hair in places that are, like, severely burnt. So maybe I could do, like, the side of his head, like, burnt, and then, like, a patch. Holy shit, this is just Todoroki. Fuck, no, I can't have Todoroki with Endeavor as his mom. But I might do something like that. Maybe some sort of car accident, something that he had to kind of get reconstruction for, like plastic surgery or something for, and then he kind of covered up those reconstructive scars with tattoos. I'm thinking that if we want to tie things together, then this will be involved with his mother, and this might be why his parents got divorced and he went into his father's custody. Maybe this accident that scarred him was due to his mother, or maybe purposeful by his mother. Okay, while they were in the process of divorce, maybe she tried to stage this accident because she wanted custody of her child, so she wanted to get the dad out of the picture, but she ended up injuring her child, and then the divorce carried on, and because suspicion of foul play, she didn't get the custody, but there still wasn't enough to prove that she was actually responsible for this, like, accident that caused this much injury to this kid. She wouldn't go to jail for attempted murder, prison, so she still gets to have that storyline with the poor other woman that she becomes in lesbians with. But this kid still gets injured and he covers those up with tattoos later in life. I think that that's a pretty cool idea. I know that I want him to not have eyebrows, so maybe if the burns really did get on his face, like on his face, then he doesn't have eyebrows and he's missing some of the hair. Maybe, like, on the side, like I said, so it can be kind of like a faux, like around his ear. Maybe it can be like a faux shave where there's actually just no hair, and maybe his ear can be kind of fucked up, because, you know, I draw fucked up ears, they're difficult to draw, so maybe if I draw it kind of misshapen and like the scar tissue and things, that might be interesting. I'm kind of getting somewhere with this. So, yeah, it's 1:45. Oh, fuck, it's 1:45. Okay, yep. So that's me. Go support me on Ko-Fi, or drop a donation on Ko-Fi. You don't have to be a monthly member, but if you do want to be a monthly member, you can choose like anywhere from $2 a month, and you will get your name at the end of videos, no matter what tier you get. So yeah, hope you enjoyed my little studies that I was doing, and oh yeah, I did a painting while I was yapping over here, didn't I? Okay, well, enjoy the painting of my Castlevania self-insert OC. I should have talked about that. Shit. Yeah, Castlevania self-insert OC, they have snake bites, except it's the top lip and the bottom lip, and it's kind of like a muzzle, because if you have that giant loop of metal, then they can't use their, like, vampire fangs, so this kind of like a practical muzzle that's also cool snake bites. That's all I can say. And it's also to make my self-insert to ship with the characters, because I'm in love with all of the Castlevania characters. Okay, that's me. Ko-Fi, like, subscribe, whatever the fuck. If you've reached this far in the video, then that means a lot to me. You can comment down below, I guess, if you want to say that you've reached this far, because I'm curious as to how many people actually watch the full length of these things. A lot of people don't get this far, so the fact that you're seeing this is actually pretty cool. So, drop a comment. Fuck, I sound like a YouTuber. Guess I am. Drop a comment if you got this far. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, so go check out my other videos. Keep an eye out for the video about my toxic yaoi, and yeah, bye-bye. Thanks for listening.